Recording in progress.
Get a bite. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, she's glad I got ice cream.
Yeah. That's too funny. Yeah, so you said 4 to 4 is a quorum, right? Yep. All right, and we're recording? Yes. Awesome. Okay, we can probably call this meeting to order. I'll be able to keep it short and sweet for us. All right, minutes. Did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes?
I did.
And were there any adjustments needed from anyone? And like to make a motion to approve this minutes.
I move that we approve last month's minutes.
Second. All right, minutes are approved as written. Sweet. And staff reports.
The only thing I have to report is that the dumpster mural RFP is published and out there. The city's PIO is going to be publishing my press release tomorrow. Cool. And I put it on Facebook today. Got Amanda's awesome graphic this afternoon, so I'll get that posted also.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't think to make the graphic until I saw your.
I thought about it, but I don't want to keep bugging you. Like
no,
it's anytime
I asked for it. And then I made a graphic for the dumpster stuff, and I used your photos from the last dumpster event to make it. So that's okay. Cool. Well, maybe while we're on staff reports, I just have a couple quick questions. Did the Momentum mural signage get printed yet?
It is actually ready for me to pick up, so we can get it installed. It's done.
Exciting. Yeah. Cool. And also, how many Lindale tunnel submissions have there been?
I've received 2 to date. I haven't looked through them. I'm sure to see if they are if everything's there. Mm-hmm. But one actually came in today. The other one came in about a week ago.
Cool. And it felt like last time a lot of them came in right before the deadline, right?
Like right.
Oh yeah, almost all of them.
Like in the last day or 2.
Good getting that question from people too that are thinking about applying.
Procrastinate, then they want to do
it.
it.
100 people, they don't want to.
Oh, sure,
if it's only 2, then they'll put in the work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to kind of reach out to some artists and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just had one more question as far as staff reports go. Has there been any word back from the county on that Percent for Art collaboration or anything like that?
No, we haven't heard anything. That maybe reach out. I don't know if that's best from you. Probably, since it's the committee that's asking about it. So maybe like a little email to them.
I'd be happy to do that. I just wasn't sure kind of what
we haven't heard anything.
I'm sure too, just anytime November and December are always kind of a wash. A lot of folks, there's a lot going on. Great, okay, well, yeah, I think that's all we've got for staff reports. Thank you, Bridget. Community collaborations application review. And so this is what we've been working on the last couple of months, as you guys know, and I believe this is its final rendition with last month's edits from everyone. And I kind of just changed the wording a little bit to kind of make more sense and to kind of read a little bit more, fluently. I have that the applications would be reviewed by us on Wednesday, March 20th, and that applications would need to be received no later than Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. So that's a week and a day ahead of time. Would that be enough time for you, Bridget, do you think? Okay. I just wanted to make sure that there was enough time for it not to be a huge kind of load of work. But yeah, and then I added some imagery from our last 2 community collabs and changed the application to a form that people can fill out. So that way it's just like if people do respond, we kind of have a more even kind of playing field for how responses are received.
It'll be easier for them to apply also.
Absolutely. That's kind of what I was thinking. And if they need more room, they can submit as however much more as long as it's under.
That gives them an idea of what the expectation is. We don't need a 3-page cover letter.
Totally.
Paragraph ought to be sufficient.
just kind of keep it simple for everyone. But yeah, I'm really kind of happy with how this has come along, and it's, I think, taken a lot of kind of different input from everyone, and especially kind of Ramsey for spearheading this, which is just
Well, it
been
looks
great.
great.
Yeah,
It did look really good.
thank you. And then, so I guess the thought would be, would this be, when we did make this available, would this be on something like the resources tab of our Helena Public Art page, or would this be, would have to be like an RFP, or? Just wondering kind of the avenue, or maybe that's just to be
Yeah.
determined.
So I actually engaged with Ellie Ray yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
asking her how, when the TIP, there's the application for the TIP funding and how that kind of played out when they first put that together.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that it went through approval process. So I do want to check and just make sure that before we post anywhere, find out if it does need to go through the commission or not. I'm hoping it doesn't, but I don't know. So I just want to double check on that. And then it could honestly kind of go on both places, just a matter of how we advertise it. I would probably put it on the RFP page, just because it's got that quick link.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be easier to advertise and people to find.
Absolutely, and I think whatever
Yeah.
works best for the city, so just let us know if you guys need anything on that. And I believe too, if we need the time to figure out exactly how this is released, I think we have, the next month probably to figure that out for that.
I think there's.
Especially too, just to give the dumpster RFP kind of its own time. And all that. But yeah, does anyone have any other adjustments that they'd like to see on this? And if not, I would entertain a motion to approve the application in its entirety.
I move we approve that application in its entirety.
Second.
All in favor of approving the community collaboration application draft in its final form, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, approved. Thanks, guys. All right, and with that, oh, signal box on Euclid and Benton. I just wanted to bring this up because I noticed that's the one near Carroll College that had the David Goodson Helena art. But I believe it was a couple months ago that I mentioned that it looked like someone had hit it. And I took photos, but now I can't find my photos. But basically, the signal box department replaced it, and it's now a blank box. So I know in the past we had talked about if this were to happen, could we use like maintenance money, that we have set aside annually to replace it in this case. And I'm guessing the box wasn't salvageable with the way the debts were in it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to let everyone know on that, and like maybe talk about if we were to replace it, it would we could just use David Goodson's art again, since the city has
Yeah, I think that's a
That's
great
and
opportunity.
I love
to just-
that artwork.
Yeah, just do the same thing again.
Mhm.
We've got the files, just have the Sunshot print them again.
Cool. And that's something that would be like the maintenance budget could be used for, correct?
It is, so maybe kind of just like a clarification to you guys that the maintenance money isn't necessarily yours to spend. That's the public art budget that we're responsible for. But you guys can definitely like make that recommendation
Of course.
to us,
Of
and
course.
then we would prioritize it with, obviously right now it's the only thing we know about. But, and we talked about recently, because when we saw this come up, he had seen it, so he kind of knew about it, but I didn't know about it. But is getting on our website possibly some sort of link where people can fill out a fillable form online to like report if they see public art maintenance issues. That, obviously you guys could do, but also just the general public. Because it is difficult for us to have a hard enough time just keeping our eyes on our 18 buildings, let alone all the
Totally.
art as well. So it's helpful to definitely hear those things and get those recommendations, because like I said, we have a hard time finding it ourselves,
Absolutely. And that was kind of my thought tonight. It's like maybe, yeah, we as a committee could consider, recommending that be something that be replaced by the city if there is a budget for it.
It also made us think of not necessarily a hardline policy, but maybe just a kind of like a general practice or something of how, when we do replace it and when we replace it with something new, or when we replace it with what was there. You know, we don't have this, like for the traffic box signals, we don't have it in the agreement that they're gonna be there for a certain amount of time. But when we look at, say, a mural for Memorial Park, we're gonna replace it with something new, right? So like, it's kind of like, oh, it's at its life. So maybe we need to come up with something like that to kind of guide us for like a traffic signal box. Okay, it's been up there for 4 years, it needs to be replaced for whatever reason. Do we use the original art? Do we put it into rotation for a new one? So that kind of led us to think that maybe we need to come up, and you guys would be a good avenue for that, to maybe come up with some guidance for those types of things, not just traffic boxes, but now dumpsters, murals, anything really. You know, at what point do we fix it, or do we look for something new?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we have kind of an idea of what the expected lifespan is of the vinyl. Are we saying about 6 years or
I
something?
think it's about 7, but so far, even the ones that are over 7 years look great, as long as they're not hit by vehicles. Yeah, and it's kind of like a, I'm trying to think of the right words. It's like, I think too, it's some art, you know, might be more liked, you know, than others, where it's like, oh, say we would want this to, you know, be around for longer, or think that it has a longer lifespan. But yeah, I think it would be good to kind of create some guidelines and parameters kind of moving forward. I meant to look up when that box was done. I think it was about 20, I think it was around 2020, or like whatever.
It's probably on your document that you used for the
It is.
report, because you had the pictures in the years.
Somewhere in here. But yeah, anyways, I think at the latest it was about 2018, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe that could be something for like a future meeting. We can set aside some time when we've got, you know, a few more members to really kind of talk about and kind of make a, because that could be something too that then kind of falls into our strategic plan, you know, knowing the lifespan of some of this art and when we might then make recommendations, and can kind of plan that into our process.
Another practice that might be beneficial in, so we don't spend way too much time on RFPs and approving, like, is if we have 5 boxes to fit, then say maybe we get 20 submissions, 10 are good. We could do those 5 and then keep the next 5 designs in the queue, so that when something happens, we've got a new piece on deck.
Yeah, I really like that idea. And I'm trying to think too, I think Bozeman, I believe they set their lifespan for specifically for signal boxes at about 10 years. Because I think a lot of theirs didn't have any, you know, weren't hit by vehicles or didn't have graffiti, and they reached that 10-year mark. And then for them, that was kind of their signal to do something, you know, if it lasted for a decade at a spot, it might be time for something new, especially when it's should be kind of more ephemeral, you know, something that isn't meant to last 30 some odd years. Especially if it's already, you know, if it gets over that 7-year lifespan. But if we have some, especially if the city of Helena is paying for the rights to this art and they own it forever, if there's, you know, if we've got a lot in the bank, you know, that could, you know, could be used down the line places. I think that there's some opportunities there.
Yeah, we could bring back a retro design that's been gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in terms of, this Euclid invention one, so it's, I don't know if you guys remember, it's like the David Goodson one that's got like the cathedral, it's got like all the Helena monuments, but it is kind of at that, like a kind of entrance into Helena. So I thought it kind of worked there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, maybe in this case, since we don't have a system in place, be better to just recommend we replace it with the same thing to make it cost efficient and time efficient. I
think that would work, especially since it hasn't reached its 10-year lifespan. You know, and that's something I think in the future meetings, we can kind of decide, you know, if a single box reaches that 10 years and then it comes up again that we're doing a call for artists, those boxes could then be up for some new art, which I think could work.
When is our next scheduled traffic box RFP?
Well, I think it was recommended to the commission. It's something that the Public Art Committee would like to work on for the next fiscal year, but I'm not sure if we ever fully got a consensus on
You
that.
didn't
I
get
tried.
a no either.
I
so-
tried.
Right, yeah. It doesn't mean we can't put it through in budget. I just
Okay.
think that they didn't 100% quite grasp the concept of that yet. So
And I
if
think
it means we do it the
We
normal
weren't
way.
very clear.
I tried.
Yeah.
You tried. It's hard. It's hard to stand in front of me like, can I get an answer?
Yeah, or especially when you've spoken and then when they speak, it's like I don't want to speak out of turn or anything like that. It's getting better at it. But yeah, if that's something that the city does want to explore, I think it would be for not this coming summer, but the next summer. Right? That's when I would trying to remember. I'm looking,
mean,
thinking, I'm looking at the
it'd be
timeline in my head.
FY25, which that fiscal year is like July 24
Mhm.
through June of 25. So I mean, it could be somewhere within that time frame. Obviously, we wouldn't do it in the winter, but
Totally.
the RFP could be in the winter.
So realistically, they probably get installed, not this summer, but next, if that is something that fully.
Yeah, that's a long time for one of our flagship traffic signal boxes to sit in.
Totally. Well, I mean, with that, I think I would, entertain a recommendation to.
I move that we request maintenance budget money to replace the Euclid and Benton traffic signal box with the pre-existing artwork.
Second.
All right, is yes already, oh yeah, I guess before we take a vote, I should ask for public comment. Getting better about that, but yeah, hearing none. All in favor of recommending to the city that they replace the traffic signal box on Euclid and Benton with the art of David Goodson. Please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, hearing none, that is what we recommend. All right, and yeah, and I guess for future meetings, we'll come up with like a plan of when in the next month we can, or in the next 6 months, say we can talk about what that, what art's lifespan might be and kind of how we might want to build that into our planning process. But I think that's a great idea. Public art events and promotion opportunities. Does anyone have anything they know of going on?
See.
The solstice show tomorrow, I'm gonna be in at St. Paul's.
Hmm.
It's like an immersive art experience with, oh, now I'm gonna blank on his name. He has art up and his wife does art on Broadway. And their art's gonna be displayed, and then we're doing like a dance to like a live jazz, so that'll be interesting. And they're gonna be like Native American speakers and stuff like that, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's all I really know about it. Like, I've just been in the dance world lately. I haven't been as much in like the art world, but we have some artists coming, so I was actually really excited about that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You said that it's St. Paul.
Yeah, St. Paul's, so just right up the road. That's where I'm going to practice after this. So yeah,
Is there an
I
admission
guess they've been
charge or
doing it-
ticketing?
no, it's just a free event.
First come, first seat.
Yeah, yeah, I never heard of it, but I guess it's been going on here in town for 10+ years or something. But yeah, so it's just a free event though, just over right up at St. Paul's.
Yeah, they do all kinds of stuff in there.
They really do. I saw even last weekend they had like some kids like Christmas, or type of deals going on. And yeah, I mean, I look on that Helena webpage all the time for, they're always listed stuff, like if you're really trying to look for stuff.
The Helena events.
Helena events, and there's one that has them like listed more like a dates, and then there's one, I think, Helena events, and then there's one that's more like a calendar. But yeah, I like all of those. Getting my kid out there. don't know. I don't think there's anything else. I think there's also, no, there was the Nutcracker last weekend as well. And then I wanted to see the Christmas Carol this weekend, but sold out. So,
That's right.
Oh, it did so well.
yeah,
That's awesome.
pretty cool.
Oh, that's great. But yeah, do we have any, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any communications or announcements that anyone has? I don't really have too much. Yeah, and then items for next agenda. Is there anything else that we can think of that we kind of want to kind of pre-plan for kind of as we move into the new year? I know we'll have January will be our Lindale Tunnel mural submission. So I think that in itself will be a big meeting. So I probably won't want to front load us too much with other things, especially now that we've got this community collab application all finished and we don't need to talk about it anymore. Type being. Yeah.
I'll report on that on the staff reports next month
Okay.
and what I find out about the approval for the application.
So I'm so excited to look at all those submission stuff. So hopefully,
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
excited
we'll have
for
to
that
keep
too.
just reaching out to artists that we know and just kind of I'll repost it again. A week the deadline and on the Rodney pages and all that too. So
Yeah, and I'll see if Jake will do a new post on the city's website. The HPAC still doesn't have a ton of followers, but the city's has pretty good followers. So.
yeah, the Lindell Tunnel RFP post that you did though, huge engagement.
Yeah,
I think it had
a
over
lot
like
of
33 shares,
Yeah,
which
which is
is
awesome.
yeah, pretty significant. So
So we're gonna go over those next.
yeah, in January will
That'd
be,
be great.
and then February would be their dumpster artists that we'll go over, and then March will be community collab.
Cool.
So,
Those will be
Yeah,
fun meetings.
yeah, those
Yeah,
will be
I think
some good
so.
things lined up. Very cool.
Be exciting, and hopefully too, we kind of have some more board members that are able to kind of fill those vacant seats. So
Mhm.
if we
Yeah,
can-
I've talked to a few people when I was at Nutcracker. I was like, anyone else interested in public art? And like, they have some seats. So
I love
Yeah.
it. Thank
Yeah,
you for
they're
doing
out
that.
'cause I saw there's like, well, that one gal that was like her last meeting, right?
Jenny.
Yes. So yeah, I knew there was at least one.
Great. Yeah, with that, do we have any other public comment before we adjourn? And hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
A second.
I move we adjourn.
All right, well,
Second, yeah.
I'll consider it,
Get in there.
consider it moved. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
All right, thank
New
you.
record, I think.
Ooh, new record.
Thank you, guys.
Nice job.
That was
Yeah,
a good one.
36, yeah, so 36 minutes.